But guys, you can hear me, right? I'm very audible. Sorry if anyone can hear me. Can you guys say yes? I can hear you. No, I can't.
Yes,
Yes,
we
I can
can.
hear you.
Can
Yes, we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, great. So, as I was saying, I was introducing myself and also introducing Lenac for the sake of, this call recording. I was saying that Lenac is an ed tech that help people transition into tech, right? As of now, we've been able to help close to 20 people transition into tech. Not only transitioning, we also have helped them at least land their first tech job. And when we say land your first tech job, it could be in the form of a full time job in tech, or it could be in the form of a paid internship or unpaid internship. So today we have an expert with us who has experience with data analysis and actually a facilitator at LearnApp who will be taking us through data analysis and what it's all about, and also hopefully inciting, the desire for you to pursue this pathway. So one of the things I was mentioning earlier is that the fastest way to get into tech are taking courses that are either low code or no code, especially if you're not someone that like, coding. So without further ado, I introduce Violet Johnson so that she comes up and get us into the world of data analysis. And by the way, if you have any questions, I'll encourage you to write them down so that we attend to them, after the class. So Violet, over to you, ma'am. Violet, can you hear me? Okay, one second.
Yes. Hi,
Great.
Dolapo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Please confirm that you can see me. I think this light is too bright. Okay, let me see. Okay. Please confirm that you can see and you can hear me.
Yes, clearly.
All right. So, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in what part of the world. Happy to be here. Thank you, Delapo, for the introduction. And I'll be putting up my slide in a bit. Please let me know if you can see this. Make sure I'm showing the slide. All right. Please, can you see my screen? Just to turn off this video so that I network doesn't glitch. So you see what it look like. It's not just the pictures. I'm going to turn this off. All right. So can you guys see my slides as we start?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
All right. Thank you. So once again, good afternoon. And if you have chosen, if you signed up for data analytics class, like Dolakwa said, you have joined the fastest part to tech, right? You couldn't, you do not want to be anywhere else. This is the fastest, and everyone can do this, learn it as fast as possible, and get a job. And like Dolakwa had mentioned, Learnac is, not just putting you or showing you the path to tech. They are also going to, put you on the try to land you your first job, after you have learned the skills via Learnac. So not so much about me, but currently I do a lot of data analytics and process re-engineering at an insurance company, one of the best in Nigeria. And I also lead the data analytics team where I work. So I'm going to be your facilitator for this track, and I would love for us to continue even after this first class. And one more thing, if you have any question, please just write it down, note it down, and at the end of the session, I would take your questions, I would interact with that. So let's start with what data analysis is. I mean, you hear the word data analysis, the sweet tech track, we're talking about, and it's basically looking at an organization data and then trying to make sense of it. Companies collect loads of data, and they collect it, some collect it in its raw form. Big companies that already use data and have pipelines already have structured data. When it is coming in, it's already in tables, it's already structured, right? And then for the ones that collect data in raw forms, the data doesn't mean anything. When somebody comes to buy something, you just collect the name. When someone comes to patronize a company or a store, you probably just collect name, phone number, email address. To you at that moment, or to the person collecting the data, it doesn't mean anything. You know, that is where, after storing the data, that is where you have your analytics coming. Now, data analytics is the process of, analyzing this raw data that you have collected in order to draw meaningful insights, in order to draw actionable insights, right, which are then used to inform and drive business decision. Now, as a data analyst, you try to help a company make solid decisions that are backed by data. Now, if you work within a data team or you've been around people that work with data teams, you'll be hearing buzzwords or buzz sentences like, we need to make data driven decision, we need to pivot our business strategy or business decision through the numbers, very tech or very, cliche sentences. No, now all those things mean that, we've gone past the era where you would just, make decisions based on your guts or your feelings, and you're just testing the waters, and it might work, it might not work. You've gone past that era to actually looking at the data, what has happened in the past, looking at your data to then make decisions that you are very, not like you are, say, 80 to 90% sure that because this has happened, this is the trend, you're sure that this is the way to go. That's why we say, oh, data driven decisions. Now, if you're trying to help the organization make decisions with the numbers that they have or they have collected, or numbers from outside sources, you're also trying to help them understand how the business is doing. As a data analyst, you are trying to tell the business where they are going to. You're able to identify issues, you're able to probe issues, you're able to look for the best ways to tackle them, and how to make best of the resources that they have, right? So that's you as a data analyst, and how to leverage on data analytics to help a business. Now, in terms of resources, it can be financial resources, operation, or even human resources, personnel. So I'm going to give you a simple scenario. Now, it's quite common among data analysts, and I love to use it during my classes. Now, a product company was in a partnership with a store. So I'm going to say the store is something popular that we know in Nigeria, say ShopRite, right? And we know that ShopRite has chains of stores, all over Lagos. The one Yaba, Bariga, name it, they have stores all over Lagos. Now, this particular company, they are in partnership with ShopRite, and they are to sell their products in ShopRite stores only. I know you are aware of such partnership where you can't sell your product any other place. There's a binding agreement that you sell your product in such stores. So that's the basics. Now they supply their products monthly. They supply their products, and then at the end of the month, the data analyst would do an analysis of the revenue that they are able to generate, and even other. Now, at this point, I would have loved to ask questions like, what should the data analyst look out for, but I won't, because I kind of know that this is a mix of beginners, people that don't really know what data analytics is, and then people that have an idea. So I just proceed. Now, the data analyst will check, let's even use the basics. Check number of products that they have been able to sell per location, you know, number of products that the company itself supplied to each ShopRite location, the amount as the revenue generated per location, new customers, returning customers, amount sold in previous months, amount sold same period last year, as if you're trying to measure growth, right? Now, while the data analyst was performing this analysis, right, he used, I know we'll still talk about this when we get into class and training proper. He used a line chart to see the number of products that was sold across the ShopRite locations. And there was a dip. We call it a dip, right? There was a dip in one of the locations, and when he checked, he saw that in that particular location, it showed that no product was sold in the previous month. That is zero. And then he checked, if products were supplied, checking his data to see, oh, we supply this number of products to these stores, this location, and then checking it against number of products sold. And he found out that about 500 products were supplied to that location. So what could have gone wrong, right? And then as a data analyst, that is where you start to ask questions. You have to be very curious. Start asking questions, trying to know what happened, what went wrong, and after much findings, checking in with store manager, checking in with the supply, dispatch, different people, he then found out that yes, although it was delivered to the store, however, these products were left for that month after the ones that finished on the shelf. So the products were left in the storeroom and none was on the shelf. So he immediately escalated, got representative to make it right. So what is the essence of this? He was able to, detect that something was wrong. If there was no data analyst in that company performing regular analysis, one, they would have probably have a longer time before they discover that, you know, there was a glitch in the process, and maybe the person that was a storekeeper in that particular location had resigned, and there was no product that was being put back on the shelf. We have taken a longer time, leading to loss in revenue, for the company, leading to so many things. You lost your revenue. If customers then come back, if customers, how customers behave, the customer come to a store the first time, they don't see, they come to a store second time, you lose that customer. So they take it that, oh, this store doesn't see. So you lose revenue, you lose customer, you stand to lose so many things, right? So, like I said earlier, data analytics is the perfect, career. It's perfect to look. It looks into your data and it makes sense of it. It helps your company grow, right? And I think the very first thing I said is it helps you identify issues, probe issues, look for the best way to tackle them, and then make use of your resources properly, right? So data it is a very important aspect of every business, no matter the size of the business. So be it small, be it medium, be it large scale business. I mean, even the market woman that is selling pepper, she needs data analysis. It's important to her. That's how important it is, right? It really starts from you collecting data, your bookkeeping, your collection of data, and then breaking down those numbers to make sense of it. And this is something that, like I said, everyone can do. It is the easiest part to launch yourself into tech, right? And when you put in the energy, you learn the right tools, you can do it. You're able to do it, right? So now let's proceed to why data analysis is important. So I will not touch all of this because I think I've mentioned it in the first slide, and my time is really going. So data analysis is important because it helps you see where you can focus your advertising effort. Now, for businesses that leverage on digital advertising, I think every company actually needs marketing. You need visibility, your brand visibility. When you perform data analytics, you're able to then target the right customers based on the customers that you have noticed that actually purchase your product, right? So I work at an insurance company, and I'm going to still tell my story later, but the very first thing that I was required to do was to identify the set of customers that purchase a particular product. So it's not insurance. So these customers, what age of customers, what kind of cars do they use, so you have to then segment it properly so that whatever information or whatever insights you're able to gain from that analysis will then help you to target the right customers, right? So you're not just throwing adverts or throwing money into adverts and wasting, such money. You are targeting, then, the advertisement that we have these days, or those that are into digital marketing, you're able to specify the age, you're able to specify the location. So you are able to then do specific targeting so that you are not, you're getting the right people to see your product. Now, another thing is through data analysis, your business can get a better idea of your target audience, what they like. And I don't know if it's just me. If you what they like, their income, disposable income, their areas of interest, through data analysis, you're able to see all these things. You're able to link your data to external data to then see other things. Now, these days, right, when I try to search for something, I try to search for maybe a show on Google, and then I open my Instagram. The next thing I see is shoe ads. It's so annoying. I don't know, but then you know that your data is out there and is linked, right? So some people have been able to leverage on data analytics, data science, data algorithms to link your internal data. Going forward into our classes, I'm going to give you a scenario, um, and it's about Netflix and how they get to give you very good recommendation. So they've linked the data to that. So you, as a business, you are able to study your clients' presence online, what they visit, using their numbers. You're able to know what they visit, what they like, their spending habits, the pages. You're able to use that to then have a tailored, product for that person, right? Also, it makes you, as data analysis is important to reduce operational costs. We'll still discuss that. It gives you better, informs you better on how to, solve problems, right? And it helps you make better decisions, like I've earlier mentioned. Now, just a little bit into types of data analytics. I wanted to, mention this as it's very important as we proceed in this class, right? Now, there are four types. Let me just bring everything up on my screen. Okay. Now, there are four types. There are four main types of data analytics, right? We have the descriptive. I don't know. Can somebody help me mute? Help me mute that person. I'm getting the feedback. It's quite. Thank you. All right. So we have four types of data analysis. We have the descriptive, predictive, prescriptive, and diagnostic. So let me start with descriptive. Descriptive is really simple and surface level, type of analysis. It answers the question, what has happened in the past. Let's not go too deep, right? You get a data and you're trying to perform descriptive analytics. You are just trying to work on, you are just trying to know what has happened in the past, what has been the trend, what happened, and then you then inform that going forward. So you hear descriptive analysis, what should come to mind is what has happened in the past. Now we go on to the prescriptive and predictive. So predictive analysis try to predict what will likely happen in the future, right? So what is likely to happen in the future, like to predict. So from the word, what will happen, you're trying to predict what will happen based on what has happened in the past. And then we move on to diagnostic. Diagnostic analytics just explores why. You're trying to diagnose. It's a process of using data to determine the cause and the correlation between variables. So it's just in simple terms, you're trying to explore why it has happened. And then the last one is your prescriptive analytics. Prescriptive is you recommending, you're advising on the actions to take or the decisions that should be taken, after you have worked on it. So it reveals why you should take a particular action. It enables your optimization, your simulation, your decision modeling, and it provides the best possible analysis for business decisions and actions. Now, I'm going to then move on to the data analysis process. Now, we have 6 processes that you would follow, right? It's not, you don't need to follow it step by step. There are some steps that you might need to jump, but in data analysis process, this always helps. It helps me in particular. Now, when you are given a data analysis project, and then you are asked to work on the project and you don't know where to start, the best place to start is to define the question. What are you trying to achieve, right? I had a case some months back. Yeah. So I had a case some months back. So usually there was a new product that launched in the company, and the product was doing very well. I mean, on a monthly basis, we would sell over 1,000, of that product. And in the month of February, was it February or around March? It was election period. It was around February or March. All of a sudden, that product dropped from over 1,000 to about 600 there. About that was a huge drop, right? So from over 1,000 to like almost a little above half of the product. So what was the question in that regard? The question was, why had the product dropped? Why was there a significant drop from what would normally experience on that product to about 600? So you need to know what you are looking for. Where you don't know what you're doing. It's not right. That's not how to start a project, a data analytics project. You need to know, you need to define your question, define the things, and it can be more than one, right? And when you list your questions, you then know how you are able to approach the problem, right? And then after you define the question, the next is to collect the data. Now for my case, right, I had we have a data team. Lucky enough, we have a data team where they collect all the data. All you need to do is just to request. So for some people, you might not have the data already, right? You might need to then source for data. You might need to get raw data. You might need to download data outside, outsource or other sources to get your data, right? So after collecting your data, one thing you should know is that there's no clean data anywhere. I would not say it doesn't exist, but I mean, if it exists, it means somebody has cleaned it for you. So you would need to clean the data. This is probably a process that people don't like at all. And it's actually the most, let me say, one of the most difficult processes under data analytics. Cleaning your data, I take like 2 3 days to clean data, null values. People enter different names, different ways that they enter their DOBs, right? Different things that you need to sort before you then proceed. And all like data analysts will say, if you don't do this, if you skip this process, right, whatever garbage that you have decided to put in, by the grace of God, that's the garbage that you're going to get when you're done. So it is very important that you clean your data, clean it to a reasonable extent. Make sure that you've checked your cells, make sure that it's good to go, and then before you proceed to analyze the data. So analyzing the data, checking, what teams used to be the best seller for me, what team used to sell the best, what channels used to be like the channel that would sell the best. I was so particular about, because I was going to be questioned. I'm going to do my monthly presentations, and when they see the deep, the question is going to be, okay, so what happened? So of course I was not going to put myself out there without doing my findings. So I had done so many analyses, check, and fortunately I saw a lead. So like I mentioned, I checked the channels that we would regularly get the highest traction, check the teams that would normally sell that product the most, and that channel did not make the regular numbers that they would make, right? So created beautiful visuals, called the team, put the stakeholders on the call, explained that, okay, while the analysis was going on, this is what we discovered. Please, may we like to know what happened. And I got to find out that we were pushing this product on digital channels. We're pushing it, we're promoting the product. We have a budget that we used to assign to promote this product on YouTube, on different places. Google ads and all of that. So that budget dropped from, okay, let me just say a fictitious number because of data privacy. So let us say we used to spend about 3 million, right, on the ads, and all of a sudden that month we spent lesser. I'm trying to remember the the feedback. So I think they did not spend on in February. They did not allocate any budget to the ads, and that was what happened. So they didn't allocate any budgets for marketing, and the sales significantly dropped. Now, if I was not conducting a monthly analysis on that product, if I was not tracking the products, I don't think I would have seen that, right? And then the recommendation was that please let's put back that marketing budget on that product and let us see what would happen. So that happened, and of course I needed to track going forward what would, what improvement. So we gradually picked up. It didn't pick up immediately because, like I said, when something has happened, you might not get the immediate impact. You have to track for a while. People might not even come back to that site where they used to buy, or they will not get used to seeing those ads again. So you would lose something for such an error. So we brought that back, got that budget back, even increased the budget, and the next month we picked back to even better than what we were performing before. So this is the process that you see me walk through that process, using, a real life situation. So creating the visuals, sharing the findings with the team, and then making recommendations that would kickstart the project to what it was, before, or even better than what it was before. Um, so overall, data analysis provides businesses with valuable insights, right, that can be used to improve your decision making, you know, increase efficiency and productivity, and enhance your customer experience. The customer is king; is very important. Make you ahead of your competitors, and manage risk a lot better. Okay, now how do I become a data analyst? This is a very, let me start again. So this is a very important slide, and if you're not listening from the beginning, please listen now, right? It's very important that we walk through these basic skills. This is not all of the skills, right? This is just the few important ones that I have picked and have highlighted that you would need, right? So the first is curiosity. So let me even start by sharing my story about how I became a data analyst. In 20 I have or 2018, it's 2024. Okay, yeah. About in 2018, can't remember the exact dates now. I started as an intern, right, in the company that I currently work with. And then there's this, I studied mathematics, by the way, at University of Lagos. And whenever I mention that, I'm a mathematician or I study mathematics to anybody, they immediately want to, they automatically take it that you can perform magic with numbers. Whether, you know, whether you can or you can't, they don't want to care. They take it that you should be able to do wonders with numbers. When I joined the team, I was not given the luxury of, picking what I want to do. I was mainly thrown into the data analytics department and giving data. Meanwhile, truth be told, I did not know what I was doing. The data, the tool, it was Excel, right? It was really not really my first time, but I was still a learner. Basic knowledge of Excel. And one thing I would say that really helped me was the environment, the company, the ability for them to provide you answers and then help you where it was necessary. That aside, but then the ability for you to ask questions when you don't know. Also learn how to use basic tools when you're stuck. Google is your best friend. Now, thank God, we have ChatGPT and Bard, right? So starting and in that with that basic background, I was asked to analyze P&C data. So I work with an insurance company, like I mentioned earlier. So we have like two arms. We have L&S, life and savings, and then we have property and casualty, right? So under property and casualty, we then have like a list of products that you have to analyze. So I was given just one product to analyze, right? To check, you know, category of people, gender, age, what kind of people buy this product, what are they looking out for, what teams sell the product the most, what areas, what location. There are so many things that you need to look out for. And I did not have a knowledge of data analytics. Like I said, I did not know what I was doing. Not now that I have a better knowledge and I've learned a lot. If I did, I would have started by defining, what I was going to do, right? So I think that background actually helped, build into what I am today, because I was thrown into the middle of the sea and I needed to swim. I had to swim out, right? So doing a lot of nonsense to learning to then defining to then making sense of what I was doing to finding my path. So I moved from there to become an underwriting data analytics, an underwriting data analyst rather, looking into different portfolios within the company. Majorly, I was majorly really using Excel and a bit skill around SQL. Then proceeding to being a full data analyst, and then right now leading the data analytics team, where I had learned quite a lot of skills. And my best tool right now is, for visualization, is Power BI. We're still going to talk about either Power BI or Tableau later on, right? So it took me a while. It did take me a while to find my feet and then learn the right tools, right? So I'll then mention the few skills that you need to be able to become a data analyst, right? And the first thing I would say is curiosity. You need to be curious. Why is this so? You need to be able to ask questions. How does this work? How is this done? How can I go about it? Ask really. And I would like to say that no question is stupid. If you work in a very good team, you would not be made to feel no. It's very professionally, you know, it shouldn't be anything. Whenever you're asking questions, ask any and every question, as long as you know it would help you. So curiosity is very important, right? Then followed by analytical skills. Now, what do I mean by analytical skills? When you see numbers, what comes to mind, right? So when you see some sort of numbers, what comes to mind? Analytical thinking is, you thinking, how do I make sense of these numbers that I have collected? How is it going to work? Already processing it in your head. You need to have analytical skills. Now, next is critical thinking. Just go beyond the logical thinking. And then attention to details. It is very important as a data analyst to pay attention to details. No matter how, you need to pay attention to the little things, what your data is saying. Don't miss out, especially cleaning your data. Is that null value that you left that you think will not harm the data, that is actually going to harm your results? That's one null value, that you left. So you need to pay attention to the details. Is very important. Now, next is your problem solving skills. Um, I'll start by saying that if you can't solve problems, you don't belong in this field. Just go and look for another field that you want to, launch yourself into tech. So if you're not someone that love to solve problems, you should not be in data analysis. You should not think about data analytics, because when someone wants to employ you, when a company wants to even employ you as a data analyst, the first thing that they look out for is your problem solving skills. Now in an interview, you hear something like, you hear questions like, they'll give you a scenario. You're in a scenario where you are faced with a difficult problem. How did you go about it? Now, they're not looking for the perfect answer, trust me. They want to hear your persistence, they want to hear your approach, how you break the problem down, and how you attempt, even if you don't end up solving it, how you attempt to solve the problem, how you go about, solving that. Really, that is very, for data analysts, it is very important that, they check out and they ask, relevant questions that will test, or they will make sure that they are assured that this person knows how to solve problems or is willing and ready to take on challenges. Now, the next is mathematics and statistics knowledge. So we're not asking you to have PhD in maths and stats, right? So you need to just know basic. Do you need to have deep knowledge of maths? Do you need to have deep knowledge of stats? The answer is no. You just have to have basic knowledge, and that is sufficient. So you can build from there. You can build from this basic knowledge, right? Now, next is your technical proficiency. This includes having knowledge of the tools needed to succeed as a data analyst, right? The tools that you need to succeed, such as Excel, Power BI, W, right? And then you also need to be able to know different technicals, like how to clean your data, how to run your exploratory data analysis, how to visualize your data, things like that, right? Technical proficiency is very, very important. Now, communication skills. So you need to be able to communicate very well, properly as a data analyst. Data storytelling is one aspect that we will focus on. It is one aspect we'll focus on during our subsequent lectures, because in my career as a data analyst, I will tell you for free, if you have done beautiful analysis, visualization, beautiful, you have done a lot of work. If you like, use 1 year to do the work. If you are unable to communicate this work with your stakeholders, you have done beautiful nothing. So you need to be able to communicate with people, right? You need to be able to tell a good data story. You're communicating, from communicating with your stakeholders to presenting your findings to your stakeholders. This set is not overrated in any way. It is a very important skill set that you must have, right? Some people will say, don't make noise, don't talk about it. Please talk. When it comes to data analysis, please say like relevant things, not nonsense. So please be able to communicate properly the work that you have been able to do. Now, continuous learning. So, what's that? What's that thing again they say about the day you stop learning? How do they put it? Okay, but you know the rest. So, please, in data analytics, you need to continue learning. Not even these days that you know Microsoft just come today. There's Microsoft Fabric. Another day there's something new things. You have a data house where you can perform everything from data analysis to data science, Power BI to this. Every day Power BI is being updated. You go and leave 1 week, you come back, you meet an update. So you cannot risk not, you know, learning continuously, please. So continuous learning is a skill that you should have. New ways to perform analysis, new ways to clean your data, simpler ways to do this, beautiful ways to visualize your data. Continuous learning is a skill that you should have. Lastly, not last, there are still so many skills, but these are the ones I've highlighted, is your persistence, right? So there are some problems that will give you headache. There are some problems that, after analyzing and analyzing and analyzing, you still not arrived at, you've still not answered that question, that you have defined. So it takes persistence, resilience to keep at it to ensure that you get the solution that you're looking for. So to become a successful professional data analytics, it involves a combination of technical skills, problem solving abilities, like I said earlier, good communication, right? So this that I have highlighted here is just the basics. There are key characteristics that can help you launch as a beginner into your journey to become a data analyst. Now, lastly, data analytics tool. Now, for you to start as a data analyst, so just you don't need to know everything on here, right? And just some can stand or replace the other. For example, your Power BI and Tribute, there's really no, they use the same interface. So Power BI is a cheaper, and then it has a larger community, so you can easily switch from, Power BI. You can switch to Table, and then it also depends on what the company that you're working for, what they use, or what they're using for analytics. So you don't need to know everything, but then you need to start from somewhere. So best advice, right, would be to follow a set of learning pattern that would show you step by step on how to go and learn hack is the best for you. And I'm sure that our admin Delacroix will still come back to talk about this, right? So right here we have a solid curriculum well suited for you to become a professional data analyst at the end of the program. So starting with the basics, how to solve problems, for you to even get a job, right? For you to get a job, the basics that you need would be Excel, visualization tool, Power BI, and you're good to go, right? But most of all, you need to be able to embed the characteristics of a data analyst. So I'll take it back here, such as being a problem solver, being curious, critical thinking, continuous learning. If you get a job with the basic skills, right, and then let's just say you are required to then learn SQL, or you are required to learn Python, or they give you their tools, one of their tools, because of your ability to learn or your continuous learning. I promise you'll be able to take it up faster, learn, and then meet up to the challenge, right? Um, yeah. So I've come to the end of my presentation, and I'd like to take questions. I don't know if there are any questions. Let me see if there are any questions on the chats.
Okay.
Dolako, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Is it clear?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, someone asked that can you talk about cleaning data more? They wanted to understand what cleaning data means.
Okay, so cleaning your data, when you get your data from um either internal sources. So for me, I have internal sources. We have a enterprise database team that manages data. So when this is being sent to you, there is a process to clean data. I would like to say, okay, so when you join our class, don't worry, it's one of the things that we are going to do. We are going to do step by step. There's a process to clean data. I'm going to provide you a very data. We're going to walk through it from start to finish, filling in null values with either the main or median. There are rules to these things. I'm not able to take it there because it is actually a full class on its own, right? So cleaning data is actually making your data from really messed up to refined, properly cleaned from to be able to use for your analysis. I hope that's answered your question.
Yeah, and I would also like to add, just to give an example. So just say you have a business or you have like a store, and you have maybe an admin that helps you like fill in the information of things that have been bought, and you have like a role where you say put the name here, put the phone number here, put the quantity of things bought, and put the price, right? And because at the end of the day, you want to be able to use that information to know how much more you should restock in your store. And although, yes, you have an admin that is supposed to put this down, sometimes your customers also just come in and, I mean, it's not logical, but also comes in to put in, this information down by themselves, because you have told them that if you put in the information down, they could get discounts and whatnot. But in the process of them filling the information, they have perhaps, like the place they're supposed to put name, they put phone number, right? In the place they're supposed to put phone number, they put price. And this happens a lot of times, right? So, and this data is very essential for you to reuse in order to help, do forecast or to get insights to see which one is selling better, which one you need to, like I said, either restock more. So the process of ensuring that you clean the data, putting rearranging that information in the right column is called cleaning data essentially. But when you're working with an enterprise, you're not going to be working with just 20. I mean, imagine you having to look through 20 rows or 20 information and trying to clean it. It can take ages, right? So this skill set that you're learning as a data analyst is using all of these tools, which essentially when you join classes like the data analysis class, to help you actually clean the amount of data, about 1,000, even 1 million, is what you'd be learning when you go into data analysis, or when you go into taking courses like this. So we want it to be an interactive class. Now that Violet has given us like a very succinct introduction into data analysis, just in case you've been just wondering what is this data analysis everyone is talking about, is what is this buzzword data analysis here, data analysis there. So I'd also want to give an example. Like every company, trust me, needs a data analyst. I was just talking about a store, even the Malam store, the regular store. Trust me, the process of them storing that information and using that, reusing that information to make a decision is called data analysis. So this is to say that the data analysis field is is not dying anytime soon. And I am just a joke. I know I used to have a colleague that used to say data is the new oil money. If you're a Nigerian on this call, you know what oil money is, right? So now it means that data, like data analysis, are the ones making the money, because a lot of companies actually require people that have the skill set to help them draw insight of their company's data to make decisions on what they have to do next. As a matter of fact, the banking industry, the oil industry, whatever, even the government, all of them, what one of the things that they do is see how they can use their current data to actually make strategic decisions for the future. And Violet did beautifully well by giving us scenarios and examples of how one time in our organization they noticed a dip in a particular product, or I think a rise in it, and they were wondering why that happened. They realized that because they stopped marketing or investing in that marketing for that product, that's why nobody was buying it, and they were able to do, and it skyrocketed back. So um most times when people want to join or when people want to transition into tech, I always recommend four pathways to them. I'll say, see, if you want to at least get a job fast, and I am saying fast, trust me, data analysis is one of the ways you get a job, because aside from even regular jobs that you go on, maybe Indeed or LinkedIn, even a lot of freelancing firms, a lot of freelancing websites have thousands and thousands of data analysis jobs available that you can do on a part-time basis, even though you have a full-time job, you're doing other things. And if it's something that you're looking to relocate to another country, instead of you going to pick
Okay, so is it my network or the laptop has gone off?
Hi guys. I think
Yeah, we still
she
here. We
has a
still
little
here.
network issue. Violet, I don't know if you can
Oh,
just
okay.
round up. If anyone has any other questions, you can ask. Okay, I guess she's back.
Okay, she's back. Hi, Dolapo. We lost you for a while.
You're muted.
right. So I was saying that I'm so sorry, guys. I am really really sorry. So apparently I thought my internet was charging, but it wasn't, so it went off. So now I'm on my mobile data. So I was saying that myself and Violet and a couple of us that work in Learn Ag have experiences of working in tech, and we can. This is not someone just trying to say, oh yes, do data analysis. I think there is money in it, but they are actually um, data to back it up. Imagine, say, I mean, look at that word porn. There's data to back it up. If you go to LinkedIn, if you go to any job board as well, one of the most requested jobs is actually data analysis. And as a matter of fact, some people don't even write data analysis as the job. There are sometimes, for instance, I used to work in retail. So there was something we call visual merchandising. So visual merchandising then, or visual merchandisers and merchandisers, one of the things they do is actually data analysis. They crunch a lot. So I work with a company that produces children's clothes, right? So what they do is that in the beginning of the year, They looked through all the amount of clothes that they sold, and this company had over 20 retail stores. How would they be able to know how to restock the old stores if they wouldn't? I mean, how would they be able to know how to restock the old store? Is by looking at how much those stores have been selling to see how much they will need to send to different stores. So some stores would actually underperform. Some stores you don't need to send maybe maybe 20 clothes to them, but some stores you need to send like 500 because there is perhaps high walk-ins in the store. So many factors that influences why they are selling the most. But the only way the organization is able to know how to allocate all of this merchandise to the store is through looking through data and getting information from it. So and this is now the fashion retail industry. So you say that I've mentioned fashion retail, I've even mentioned normal retail companies. I mean, you can give me any company right now. The banking industry, trust me, the banking industry. This one's, I mean, we work with money. They work with different products. See, trust me, there's no company that do not require a data analyst. So if you have made a decision to even be in this class, I'll tell you congratulations. You are one step into transitioning into tech. So now, like I started, if you have any questions, we're very happy to answer them. I see that people are dropping questions already, so let me start reading them out. And you can open your mic. Aibuza, Blessing, Olatunde, Miss Okeke, Olayinka. You guys, this is a very safe space. Our goal is to see that more of us are transitioning into tech, and we're actually winning in this industry. So I'm excited to receive your questions. Okay, so this question here says, I learned data scientists uses tool like Python, SQL. Can you enlighten us a little about how this tool come in? Yes. So I'll let the expert, which is Violet, answer this, and maybe I'll just give an input. So, Violet.
All right.
So,
So
okay, yeah.
yes. So you're going to, not every company requires that you know how to use Python. And I think I mentioned it during my presentation, or you know how to use SQL, right? So you need to know what or how to get or how to link to your database. That's why you need SQL, right? So if it is required, of course, you're going to learn how to use SQL. You're going to learn how to call your data, how to, use the query language, and Python. If the company you're working for also requires that you learn Python for various reasons, you can also use Python to clean your data. You can use Python, to run your models. You will need to learn it. And that's why continuous learning was one of the key skills that I had mentioned that you require as a data analyst, right? So however, in our class, yes, we're going to be doing a bit of SQL. In our class, we're going to be learning visualization, introduction, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So, but if where you're going, you need Python is not entirely compulsory for all data analysts. If something that you need, please go on. I know how to use Python myself, so go on and make sure that you learn it.
Okay. Someone asked, thank you, Violet. So, I think Violet answered that question really well. That I learned data scientists use tools like that. And can you elaborate? So I know that SQL is one data analysis tool that you need to learn because it just helps you, like she talked about, clean data and even and get extract data easily. So you're definitely going to be learning about SQL if you take the classes as well. So one person also asked that. So what's the difference between Power BI and SPSS? So Violet, you want to answer that?
Okay, so SPSS is a statistical, I know that we know this already, it's a statistical platform, right? You might not necessarily, Power BI is a visualization tool, there's a clear difference. SPSS is a powerful statistical platform where you get to perform all your statistical, stuff there. Or you do not necessarily need to know SPSS, right? So you need to know Power BI. You need to know either Power BI or Tableau, any of the visualization tool. I hope that clarifies.
Yeah. Olayinka, is that fine? Is that clear? Mm, Okay, so I guess it's clear since it didn't say anything. So, and I also wanted to mention that, data analysis, I was talking about the different roles or the different ways different company, refer to data analysis. I was saying the fashion industry would call them merchandisers. Sometimes you see job roles for business intelligence engineer. So a data analysis person can also fall under, business intelligence engineer. So there are so many different job titles for the skill set. So in the case whereby you acquire the skill set and you're trying to look for a job, you shouldn't only be tailoring, okay, your search to data analysis or data analysts. They are looking. They are varying job titles to the skill set data analysis, and which is something that would also, be teaching you or helping you understand, so that after you've acquired the skill, you can actually get a job. You can get your first role in data analysis as a data analysis come 2024 ending or before the year runs out. Okay. Are there any other question? Blessing, do you have any question? I think I'll just call out everybody. Toba, Ufi, Yetunde, guys, no question. No question.
Yeah, I have a question, ma.
Okay, please tell us.
All right. I just want to know the nature of this class. Will it be every Sunday like this, or will there be a timetable for it? Or concerning the class, yeah? That's just my question.
Okay, yes. So I don't know if you joined earlier. So now, LearnAc is a tech school that helps you acquire the skill set. And one of the things, there are a lot of tech school in the market that will just tell you, oh, come, we'll teach you this, and they'll leave you, perhaps stranded, and you're like, what next? What will I do with all of this information that I have gotten? So with LearnUp, what we do is, we have a premium course which is paid for, right? And that course is where we take you through all of the curriculum, every single. Can you please mute your line? Let me mute. Okay, sorry about that. So it's a paid course, and we'll take you through the fundamentals through to being an expert in data analysis, literally for about 6 to 8 weeks. And aside from that, even if you don't have any knowledge at all as to what data and how, you can do all the tools, Violet mentioned some tools like Power BI, which we'll be majorly focusing on during, the course program, right? To help you actually land your first role as a data analyst is actually paid for. And the truth is, anything you pay for, you value more, and that's for a fact. That's a rule. You value more. And like I said, there are other tech schools that will say, "Oh, we'll teach you data analysis, and when you get the skill, you should be able to get." So that's not what we do here. So whatever fee you're paying for the course is also inclusive of a mentorship program and a remote job accelerator program. So now this is how it works. You finish your class, then we assign you to a mentor. Like for instance, Violet is working with a multinational insurance company, one of the biggest in the world and the biggest in Nigeria, right? And she's a lead data analyst right there. She'll be one of your mentor. We have mentors, even in the UAE, in the UK, in the United States as well, that we would allocate, our students to, so that you can leverage their experience and also leverage their network to either help you understand even more and to help you get your foot, like get a job easily, especially in the fact that when you have an interview, you need someone to speak to. Secondly, we have a remote job accelerator program. In this accelerator program, after the course, it's your responsibility to do everything that we ask you to do to land your remote job. I've been working remotely for close to 4 years now for a company in the United States, and I've been loving it. And I will tell you how I got in. And we have a lot of people like myself that they are doing the same thing, who will help you, get give you strategies to actually land your first job in tech. So we're not just only teaching you what to do, we're also giving you strategies to actually get your first job. And another thing we're doing, which is partnering with startups. So right now we are actually working with a company called Pulse. It's in Spain as well. So what they do is they are a tech recruiting agency. So from the pool of our own students, in the case where they need a data analyst, we're going to recommend you to them as well, right? Because you are part of our learning community, and we know that whatever skill we've given to you, you actually will be able to do the job. But this is just for people that have paid for the course as well. Someone asked, will you get a certificate? Absolutely, you get a certificate for the course. Once you're done, you get a certificate. Another thing is with our program, we are training you such that you should be able to write an international recognized certification exam, such as Microsoft, maybe I don't know, I'm not very sure. Violet can help me with that in data analysis. What's the exam that is recommended for data analysis that is highly recognized?
Okay,
Am
so
I-
at the moment, I know two off the top of my head. You have the
Okay,
Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Associate, right? The
okay,
certification is recognized, and then you have the Data Camp Data Analyst certification. So those are the two that are worldwide they're recognized.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you're not just getting this knowledge. It's like, I mean, if you're in Nigeria on this call, once you finish secondary school, you write WAEC. This validates that okay, you've actually gone through secondary school, and the university will actually, let you, you write JAM, right? So after this course or taking this course, you'd also would also recommend that you take all of this certification exam so that it can differentiate you from a lot of people saying, okay, I have learned data analysis from maybe Udemy or all of this other, or from YouTube. I even learned it from any other tech school, but I've not been able to land myself a job. But these are the strategies we would also recommend for you. And with all this being said, well, we hope that you'll be able to get a job or get your foot landed on tech job as it with regards to data analysis. Sorry, I'm checking on something. Okay, someone asked. Okay, I can't. mm, oh, sorry, is this course or class for a year? No, it's not for a year. It's 6 to 8 weeks. So the training is actually $200, right? But we have a 30% discount for till December 16th, and you can also pay installmentally. So if you don't have $200 right now, is I don't know. Let me check how much is it in naira. 1 second. That's about 220,000 naira. 200, depending on the exchange rate, 220,000 naira, right? So you have a 30% discount just because number one, you're on this call till December 16th. Sorry, January 16th. I don't know, 2024. And you can also pay installmentally. So you don't have to, if you have maybe 30K, 40K, 50K to start with. I mean, you're investing in your future, you're investing to get a mentor, and you're investing to also get strategies to land yourself a remote job, which I think that you definitely cannot get this offer anywhere. I can guarantee you 100%. I beat my chest to it. So I don't know if that answers your question, Miss OKK. Someone said, I also want to ask, can we learn everything on this virtual platform? I think we need to get our hands on this one. Oh, absolutely. So now, Osaren Neren Festus. So what we do is we help you set up, all of the software on your own device. We teach you how to set it up, and during the virtual classes, it's actually going to be interactive, and you'll be able to do it. and that's why we are not looking to getting a very huge class, like like big. So with our virtual classes, it's definitely possible for you to use the software as well. And another thing I was also going to mention is that we also have a dedicated learning management system dashboard for every person's that so what the dashboard does is that for every class that perhaps you missed, we have the recorded session sent to you, you have your assignment, you have quizzes, all on that platform. Yeah. Any other question, please? Any question? Okay, I think someone is typing a question. And by the way, we also have a community. I'm sure that most of us on here are on the community. So we'll have certainly, free courses as well, like this, maybe sometimes how to use a particular software. So hang around in the case where you like freebies, you would also get that as well. Any other question? Okay, I guess that's it. So if you, I would post the recording for this class in the group, and if there, in case there are any other question, you can always drop it on the group. So if you don't have the group, quickly signify so that I share it with you right away. Olutunde, is everything okay? Okay.
Everything
Oh,
is okay, ma. I'm with you. I'm in the class.
okay, and it's clear, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sending you. Someone said, please, I'm not on the group, so I'll put it. That's Ufi. Let me quickly share the link for the group immediately to you. Okay, I think I sent it in already. Okay, yeah, I sent it in already. Yeah. So yes, so one of our colleagues already added it to the group, and you can also join the data analysis group that I also sent in as well. So you guys, did you get the link that's been shared? So guys, I want to hear, would there be any questions or anything that you would want us to even do more so that we can better serve you as part of our learning community? I'm sure you guys have things to say. Israel, Ufi, Toba, Ufi, Osaren Neren, Festus, Olutunde, Olayinka, Fumilayo, Damilola, Blessing, Aigusa. I'm waiting to hear from you guys. Okay, so I guess you guys
All right,
don't
can
want
I
to say.
talk, ma? Hello,
Oh
ma.
yes, 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 please.
Okay. Concerning the premium class,
Yes, sure.
the class, if you are to join to learn further, the premium, the amount to pay $200. Please, can
Mm-hmm.
you assist us? Because me, I'm still an undergraduate, and
Okay.
you're still feeding me, but I really, really have interest in data analysis. Although I've been
Of
learning it
course, of
before,
course,
but I need platform
of
like
course,
this in order to be certified and to
of course,
get more
definitely,
opportunities.
definitely. Sure, sure. If you on the group, just write on the group, just write you need funding, and someone would be in your DM, and we can make an arrangement for you today. That's not a problem at all.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other person would need support or funding, just like Olutunde. Okay, I guess everybody will see you in class. All right. Okay. All right. I think that's it. So guys, see you in the group. We'll be posting jobs, different things on the group, and ask any question. It's a safe space, and we'll be happy to help you. All right. Thank you very much, guys.
All
Speak to
right.
you
Thank you
soon.
so much, ma. You
You're
too. Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome, Blessing. You're welcome. Welcome. Thank you, Violet.
Miss Violent, thank you very
Thank
much for the
you.
class.
Thank you, Dolapo. Thank you, everyone. See you in class.
Thank you, Violet.
Thank you,
Thank you.
mom. Thank you, Miss
Thank you,
Violet.
Dolapo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Miss
everybody.
Violet. Thank you, Wafo.
Thank you, Ife. Thank you, Fee.
Thank you, Miss Violet.
Thank you.